Welcome to Lisa Marie's on this Tuesday evening, cooking live some fresh parsley tea. And believe me, parsley is good for so many things. Parsley is something that I keep in the house, and I make parsley tea all the time. As a matter of fact, the parsley tea helps to reduce a lot of my hot flashes. So ladies, if you have hot flashes, drink you some parsley tea. It's good for you. It's loaded in lots of nutrients. It's an excellent antioxidant. It has bioflavonoid properties. It's loaded in vitamin K and C. I mean, it is really good. As a matter of fact, years ago, if you do some research on parsley, you'll find out it actually originated in the Mediterranean, and they used to use it a lot to treat people who had diabetes because it would literally control your blood sugars. So I'm not recommending that you do that for your blood sugars. I'm just letting you know that you need to do some research and talk to your doctor about parsley. Parsley, it's very healthy for you. You can have parsley water. You can do parsley tea. You can eat parsley if you have digestive concerns. It helps with your digestion. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast. Parsley is also good in your oral hygiene area. There are so many benefits to parsley. You really need to look them up because I think you would be surprised how excellent parsley is for you. Hi, Elaine. Thanks for joining. And I like to keep a dose of parsley. I say a dose, but a jar of parsley. I call it tea, but it's actually like a concentrated form of parsley in my fridge. Hi. And I like to add it to my water. I have the ginger that I will do, and I'll keep the ginger in the fridge. And sometimes I have parsley and ginger water or parsley and ginger tea, and they are excellent for you. Just excellent. Like I said, it's an excellent source of vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin A. There's a ton of benefits to parsley. Also, when you look into a lot of your green leafy vegetables, hi, Maisha, thanks for joining. The benefits of your green leafy vegetables is very high, just like parsley is, and some of the benefits that I've just shared with you. But I'm going to share with you how I make my parsley concentrated liquid juice, and you can store it in your fridge and keep it all week and have parsley water. It's great. Thank you for all those hearts and thumbs up. All right, so this is what I've done. I was going to do this and I thought, let me share this with everybody. So I have some fresh, organic, flat leaf parsley. You can use the curly one too. There's not really a difference in the health benefits of a curly versus a flat leaf. But I take it and I put it in my blender. I kind of break it in half and just put it in my blender. And then I have 2 cups of hot water. Now you have to be careful when you're using hot water in different blenders. This is a Vitamix, so I can use the hot water in my Vitamix because the Vitamix is used to handling like really hot liquids. So I will put 2 cups in with a bunch of parsley, and then I just take it and I am basically going to puree this for a few minutes. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I want to get as much of the actual parsley as I can into my jars. I have some mason jars and I'm just going to store it in my mason jars. I love mason jars because there's so much that you can put in your mason jars. You can do fresh carrot juice, which I like to keep on hand too. I don't have any. I've got to get me some more carrots. But the parsley, the ginger, those are primarily the things I'll do with that. Sometimes I take fresh spinach and juice it and just keep it in my mason jars, and I can have it during the week to add to a smoothie if I choose to. But if you can see, this is actually being pureed. And this water is going to be really green because I'm getting as much parsley as I can. So it'll be a lot of parsley in here. And the water is warm, so it's actually helping it to infuse into the water some. Okay. Turn it up a little bit higher now. I put parsley in my smoothies, but I've never had it by itself. It's excellent by itself, and I put parsley in my smoothies too. I also like to use fresh cucumber in the smoothie. Cucumbers add a nice brightness to your smoothie, so if you can use cucumbers, that's great also. Let's get back over here. Okay, so now you can see I have some parsley water here. Now you can totally drink it like this if you want, but I always strain mine. And what I do is, y'all know I like using the sink when I can. So in the sink, what I have is, let's put this down a little bit more. Sorry, y'all, let me get this straight. I want y'all to be able to see what I'm doing. So in here, I have a mesh strainer. And I'm going to pour my parsley right over this. Let's see, at least, so you use cucumber as well. I like Brussels sprouts in my smoothies. You know, I haven't done Brussels sprouts in my smoothies, but I definitely do the cucumber and the parsley. So you could have this, you can actually let it steep if you want just a little bit longer. Look at all the nutrients in there. Look at how green that the foam is. This is some good stuff, y'all. I promise you, it's good stuff. So basically, I'm just going to just pour it over my strainer just like this. And I want to get all of the juice out of it. As much juice as I can. And I'll show y'all what that looks like. And you can use a spoon to kind of just move it around a little bit. If you have like a fine mesh strainer, that's good also. So you'll be left with some of the pulp here. And since I'm making like a concentrated liquid of the parsley, I'm actually not going to hold on to the pulp. Okay, so you can see here, there's a lot of pulp that's left. I'm just going to throw that in my sink. And let's go ahead and pour some more. So I'm actually getting like 2 cups at least or more of some fresh parsley juice. And I can tell you, a lot of health enthusiasts, they will tell you, make sure you're getting your parsley in there. It's really good for the digestive system. It's good for bone health too. So it has anti-inflammatory properties. It's just one of those really good herbs to have, you know. Okay. So this is a concentrated amount of fresh parsley juice. You see that? Look how green that water is. It's very good for you too. So what I'm going to do is I will actually strain it one more time. Let me rinse this out. So over my my jar here, I'm just going to pour my parsley. And if there's any additional fibers or pulp, that's going to come out. And you can see just from 2 cups of water, look, it's concentrated parsley juice. So I will actually do that a couple of times, and then I will take it, let it cool down just a little bit, and then I'll put it in the fridge. I can pour it in my water, or I can have some parsley tea. So if I'm going to have parsley tea with it, let me show you what I will do. Okay, so in here, I will put in about 3/4 of the way full with water. About 3/4 of the way full with water. So I'll heat this water up. Let me heat it up right quick. Once that heats up, I'm going to use 1/4 of my parsley juice. Look at how rich and it's a beautiful green color. It's very healthy for you. Keep it in the fridge. My son likes this. It has a lot of nutritional value, But if you do have hot flashes, ladies, I can tell you that this makes a huge difference. Drink you some parsley juice. This is a concentrated parsley juice that I have here. It's very concentrated. So let me get my water. So all I will do now that I have me some hot water is I will pour some of the parsley juice in here. Look at that. I have some parsley tea. And I'm telling you, it helps to de-stress you, it relaxes you. You will have a good night's sleep with it. You don't have to add anything to it. It's very refreshing. It's very good. Ginger in there would be yummy. Yes, I use ginger in my parsley tea all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do the same thing with some ginger. So I actually have some ginger, and I am going to take my ginger. I don't know if y'all have ever seen me do my ginger juice. So let me show you since y'all on here. Let's make some ginger. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let me just rinse my little thing out. I do the same thing. I'm going to heat up some more water right quick. I use a reverse osmosis water. I have this reverse osmosis water here. And that's what I make my ginger and all my other stuff with. So let me heat this up right quick in the microwave. Thank you for all those hearts. So while that's heating up, I am going to just peel my ginger right quick. You do not have to peel your ginger when you're doing this. I am going to peel my ginger. I use a lot of ginger when I'm doing this. And when you peel your ginger, all you do is you can use a spoon and take the skin off. Okay, for instance, I could do this and scrape all of the skin off with a spoon. Or you can just use a peeler and peel all of that off. And again, I like to use my sink because I have a garbage disposal here. And I can just put it in the sink. Besides, ginger smells so good. So your garbage disposal gets a free cleaning. Yeah. So what I'm going to do with my ginger once I've done this is basically I am going to just chop it up a little bit. And then I will put it in my blender. So here I've got some ginger, and I'm going to get another piece like this because I like to put a lot when I'm doing this. I make it really concentrated. And so I'm just going to cut this here in my blender. You just want to cut your ginger up. So I'm going to grab another piece. And I will peel that as well. How y'all doing? It's Tuesday. Letting y'all in on some of my little secrets. I love ginger. I love parsley. What I don't like is when I go in the store on a Monday because everybody's cleaned out all the parsley on a Sunday. Every time I go to the grocery store on Sunday, it's so crowded, you would think that they're actually giving something away. So I just pile my ginger. Is very fibrous. It's got a lot of fiber in ginger. So I just pile it up in here. You could actually do the whole thing all at one time and put it in the fridge. So it's ready. My water is ready. So I'm going to go and get it. I've rinsed out the top of my blender too. So I got my ginger in here. I think I might even add just a little bit more, y'all. Let me get another piece of ginger. And I peel this. So is anybody going to make some parsley juice and some ginger juice? These are the things you can keep in your fridge. Keep it in all week. Let me tell you, when you put a little ginger in your water, it tastes so good. Believe me, it tastes so good. You'll get addicted and used to having your ginger in your water. All right, so I'm gonna just put my top on. Same process. I'm gonna rinse this out. So the nice thing about your sink is when you have a garbage disposal, you just push everything right in the garbage disposal. Keep the sink clean. Rinse all your stuff off. Now it's ready for my ginger. Just give it a good blending because you want to puree it so you can get a concentrated amount of ginger in your water. All right, that's good. So, this is ginger. It's my ginger juice. Again, what I am going to do is puree that. You can smell that ginger. It's got like a pepper hot. So, here we're just going to go through with the mesh. Okay, and we're going to get some of this. Push through here. And let me just get rid of that. And let's do some more. You get a lot of ginger juice out of that, so you're not really wasting it. You know, sometimes if you take your ginger and just boil it in water, and you can have tea that way, but you can get most of your ginger just by blending it. It's a lot of pulp in there. But you got a lot of ginger. And again, I've used 2 cups of hot water. So I'm going to take that and I am going to, again, use my mesh strainer over my jar again. Just in case I have any additional pulp. There we go. Fresh ginger. And I'm going to pour a little bit of that in my parsley. As Monique said, have some parsley and ginger tea. Doesn't that look good? That is so good, y'all. You got to go make you some parsley ginger tea. So, thank you for joining. Lisa Marie's preparing some parsley juice and some ginger juice that I'm going to store in my fridge, and I'll have it there all week. So whenever I want to have me some water or some ginger water, I can do that. Do you know how to make ginger beer? I've never done ginger beer. I would love to see that. Me too. Why don't you do it, Monique, and post it? I will definitely tune in for that. I have not, but I like to drink teas. I love a lot of natural teas, and I love a lot of natural juices. So that's what I'm doing. Make sure y'all share the video. Share it with your friends. You know, if you know anybody that has diabetes, high blood pressure, suffer with arthritis in their joints, anybody that has like hot flashes, like I knew it was time for me to drink my ginger and my parsley tea again because I started having little hot flashes. It actually helps to boost the immune system. And again, it helps with digestion. There's so many benefits. It's cancer prevention, things like that. So you want to make sure that you're getting as many fresh herbs and vegetables in your diet as you can. And occasionally on Lisa Marie's Cooking Live, I will do like fried foods, but we don't eat a lot of fried foods here during the week. We do a lot of fresh. So get your fresh, make sure your diet has a balance of freshness in it. Make sure you have fruits like kiwis. All of those are really good and loaded with lots of nutrients and vitamins. There's so many good nutrients and vitamins out there in a lot of the fresh, healthy stuff. And if you can, go organic because organic foods are treated differently than non-organic foods. Do you have to use hot water in the blender? I prefer to use the hot water because it helps to, I guess, infuse the water better. But I would, hi Jared, thanks for joining. I don't say that you absolutely have to use it, but if you don't use hot, I would use a warm water, something that's warm. Yes. Hey. Yeah, because if you do that, it's going to help it to just get infused. So you want your juice, you want to be able to see your parsley. So it looks like a lot of parsley in here, but because I have 3/4 of this cup was full with water before I put the parsley in it, and it's very concentrated. You can taste the parsley. Not sure if my blender can use hot. I'll have to check. What kind of blender do you have? But you can definitely use warm water. And after this is what you could do too, Maisha. After you've actually blended it, you can take it and put it on the stove top and let the water just heat, not boil, just heat, and let it steep for about maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and then pour it over a mesh strainer. So if you're going to put cold water in the blender, that's what I would recommend, that you put it in a pot and just let it come to a high. Yeah, the magic bullet should work. Yeah, because the magic bullet will actually make soups. Yeah, but if you have like a KitchenAid, like I had a KitchenAid, I don't have it anymore, I got rid of it, but I had a KitchenAid, and the KitchenAid really didn't have any way for heat to escape, and it wasn't designed to do like hot foods like the bullet or like the Vitamix. There's a few that you can prepare all kinds of stuff in it, you know, soups, and I say soups because that's mostly what they have in it, soups. I would probably, so you can do that, Maisha, you can do that with your magic bullet. But if you are uncomfortable, or if anybody else has a blender that's not hot or hot liquid safe, because if you close your blender and you have hot water in there, combustion will happen and it will explode on you. So be very careful. I believe I can make soup. Yes, we only have been using it for smoothies. Yeah. Well, with the magic bullet, you can use it for a lot of things. And I think the Ninja 2 does hot, because I used to have a Ninja, but I wore it out. The best thing I ever got was this machine over here, this Vitamix. I'm telling you, it's really good. But thank you for joining the broadcast. I'm going to go enjoy me some hot parsley and ginger tea and then relax some more. But y'all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And remember to always keep God first. Most important relationship you will ever have in your life. I love y'all. Don't forget to share the broadcast. My daughter and I want to try this. Hopefully it will help. Yes, it will help, because there is zinc in there and parsley. So it'll help, especially with your skin. It is definitely good for that. But thank you so much for joining. Y'all have a good night. Bye.